Hey guys, Max here, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about insider trading in the US government, in the Federal Reserve in particular, and a new rule being put into place right now to try and stop it from happening in the future. Now, it might not surprise you to hear this, but my point of view on this subject and this topic is that it isn't actually as great as it seems. This new rule isn't going to be as effective as we might like, and it's probably not going to fix the problem of officials profiting off of their government positions, and that Nancy Pelosi, that wretched woman, is going to keep all of her ill-gotten gains, much to my dismay. So what exactly is the news? What is this new rule and what will it actually achieve? Well, Fed officials will be banned from owning individual stocks, bonds and other assets as well. These new regulations will also include cryptocurrency. Now, it all follows controversy last year where Federal Reserve officials actively traded stocks and shares and equities and other forms of derivatives and things like that before Fed actions following COVID, and they made millions on their insider information. With these new rules, Fed officials won't be able to buy individual stocks like Apple or Google. They won't be able to buy bonds either. They won't be able to trade foreign currencies or derivatives or partake in short positions or even use margin debt at all. Now, the same thing goes for cryptocurrencies. No Bitcoin, no Ether, no altcoins, but this is obviously far harder to track and keep a hold of. These people will still easily be able to make peer-to-peer trades and keep everything in cold storage, but there's just no way of feasibly stopping that from happening. That's one of the benefits of crypto, actually. Now, this new rule will also extend to spouses and children, which is a very important caveat to have, especially since Nancy Pelosi is one of those officials, not of the Fed, but of a government in general, who has seen huge amounts of criticism, and it's her husband who is basically the best stock and share trader in the world, and there's no need to wonder why when you consider who he's married to. Now, why are these changes being brought about? Why is this in the news cycle and why are we talking about this? Well, over the last 2 years, but during the COVID pandemic and the peak of the crash that followed that pandemic especially, Federal Reserve Vice Chair Clarida during COVID bought into the markets at the absolute bottom of the market crash, right before the Federal Reserve started their bond buying program, right before they started buying up assets and inflating the markets. Now, for a while, he thought all was good. He thought he got off scot-free and that he wasn't caught, but he was. People realized what he did and they weren't happy about it at all, and it made its way onto the news cycle, going all over the TV, getting plastered all over mainstream media and everything online as well. Now, the Fed was understandably under loads of scrutiny. Jerome Powell came out and claimed that he had no idea that this was happening. And of course he didn't, because he's far too upstanding and moral to be partaking in insider trading or to be supporting those who do. But he has also refused to speak against what has happened in particular. He maintains that Vice Chair Clarida was a good guy who did no wrong. And why did he do that? Well, because frankly, Jerome Powell is morally bankrupt, and that shouldn't surprise us at all. Now, these rules should, in theory at least, stop this from happening again. Officials of the Federal Reserve, and there are quite a few of them involved, they will have to make decisions about buying or investing in assets 45 days in advance, and there will be increased scrutiny. They won't be able to buy individual positions, as I said, but they'll have to buy into broader-based indexes, something like the SPY. They also have to hold their positions for at least a year, and this is good. It is progress, but it isn't enough, and the problem will still persist. The first major problem with this is that those who did this in the past, who insider traded and profited at the expense of innocent Americans, should be punished. They should have all their titles and privileges taken away from them. People like Vice Chair Clarida don't deserve a positive legacy, so we shouldn't let him have one. It's very simple, but these rules do nothing to change that. He is still the ex-vice chair of the Federal Reserve. He still has all of that influence and that prestige, and he will be allowed to go on with the rest of his life with his ill-gotten gains, with the profits that he doesn't deserve. He will be wealthy for the rest of his life, and these rules won't change that at all. Now, insider trading, in particular with politicians in the US, with members of Congress or senators, is still rife as well. And worst of all, with that wretched woman, Nancy Pelosi, who is adamant that she and her husband should be able to profit from their positions of authority. Let's not forget now that off of a salary of a couple $100,000 a year, Nancy Pelosi is worth about $200 million. How did she build up that wealth? Well, through insider trading, and the trades speak for themselves. She and her husband beat the markets for years on end. By all accounts, they are some of the best traders to ever exist, or they just have information that other people don't have. Of course, everything is run through her husband, not herself, who she just happens to share a bed with every night. Now, it is clear as day. Everyone knows it, everyone knows what goes on, everyone knows where Nancy Pelosi's wealth comes from, but yet she still has this to say about it all.
Insider just completed a 5-month investigation finding that 49 members of Congress and 182 senior congressional staffers have violated the Stock Act, the insider trading law. I'm wondering if you have any reaction to that, and secondly, should members of Congress and their spouses be banned from trading individual stocks while serving in Congress?
No, I don't know to the second one. We have a responsibility to report in the stock, on the stock, but I'm not familiar with that 5-month review, but if people aren't reporting, they should be. Because this is a free market and we're a free market economy. They should be able to participate in that.
She's pretty frank about it. She wants to keep her wealth. She wants to keep getting richer as well, and these new rules won't stop that from happening. Now, she did get loads of backlash from that video a few months ago when it came out, and she did quickly backtrack, and afterwards she said that insider trading is awful and of course she opposes it. But without a doubt, behind the scenes, her grubby little fingers are making sure that no real changes are made. She is corrupt. She is, as I often call her, that wretched woman. We just need to make sure that no one forgets it. Now, to be perfectly clear here, I'm not American. I can't vote in American elections, and nor will I ever be able to. But we have very similar problems here in the UK and in other countries as well, and the movements growing opposing corruption in our governments are worldwide. They're based online where borders don't exist, and support for new legislation transcends countries, as does the pressure that we put on politicians by talking about it. This news regarding the Fed, that they are making it harder for Federal Reserve officials to insider trade and to profit off of their positions of authority, is good news. It is progress, but it mustn't stop here, and it must go further, and in particular, it must tackle politicians as well. Now that is it for the day, guys. If you enjoyed this video, then leave a like and a comment to bless the YouTube algorithm. If you want more content like this, then check out our Patreon and join our community of investors. You get access to our Discord, loads of exclusive content like insight into my portfolio, and buying sell alerts for all my own investments. There's a link in the description to masterworks.io, a site that allows you to buy fractional shares of art from world famous artists like Banksy, which can be a great way to diversify your portfolio with non-market correlated assets. It's completely free to sign up, you don't have to buy anything, you don't have to hand over any card information, so if that sounds interesting, then make sure to check it out. There's also a link in the description to BlockFi, which will give you up to $250 in free Bitcoin when you use it. You can also get 9% interest on stablecoins like USDC, which is a far higher rate than you'll get from any savings account these days. Just make sure not to use Tether. Thank you all for the support. Thanks for watching. Stay stoic. Until next time.